Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting special needs children. I'm also a legal document assistant, LDA, in the greater Los Angeles area. So today I want to talk to you about step 2 because it's step 2 Tuesdays. We're going to talk about the income and expense declaration. Basically, how do you fill this out? So give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen so we can walk through this. Okay, so here is the California Form FL 150 Income and Expense Declaration. So right up here, you would put your name. If you don't have an attorney, if you have an attorney, then you don't have to fill this form out. I'm talking to you, people who don't have an attorney. So you're gonna leave this part blank. You're gonna put your address, your city, your state, your zip code, your telephone number, your email address. You're going to put the county. What county are you filing in? And the court that you're filing to. You're going to also list your name and your spouse's name. So you really want to make sure that whatever you put on your FL 100 where you filed for divorce, you put the same name. So if you used first name, middle initial, last name, do that again. If you used first name, last name, leave it. If you used first name, middle name, last name, then put that. You want to make sure the names are the same. Unless you're filing this with your step 1, then you'll already have a case number. Put that case number here. Then here, you want to make sure that you list your employer. Their name, their address, their phone number, what your job title is, when you started. If you're unemployed, then when your job ended. And for you stay-at-home moms, sometimes I've seen these where it's like, my job ended 20 years ago. Just put the date it ended. That's fine. About how many hours you work. And then they want to know gross. This means before taxes, how much you get paid. So if you get paid per month or per week or per hour. Listen, these forms, they nosy, okay? So they want to know how old you are. Did you finish high school? I've seen sometimes people are like, yeah, I got like a PhD. I still need to know if you finished high school. They still want to know that. So you got to mark that stuff. Tell us what did you finish college? What did you get? Did you get a BA, a BS? Did you finish graduate school? What did you get? Did you get an MA, an MS, a PhD? Do you have special vocational training or an occupational or professional license? You want to list that. And then you want to list the last year you filed for taxes. That they were actually filed. And then how did you file? A lot of you are going to be filing married, filing jointly, or married, filing separately. If you file jointly, you're going to put your spouse's name here. Hopefully you can see my cursor. And usually most of you are going to put that you filed in California. And then you want to put, they want to know how many exemptions you claim on your taxes. How many are you claiming? And then you want to estimate your spouse's income. And then a lot of times, if you don't know, you just put unknown and just say, they've never told me. I've seen people do that. Or they could take a guess. And then people say, oh, I took a guess. Or that's what they made last year. Or I saw their pay stub, that type of thing. Every once in a while, somebody's got 2 jobs and they need 2 of these page ones. That's fine. That's fine. You're going to sign and date this form. Sign, date, print your name. Page 2. The heading is going to be the same. They want to know your name, your spouse's name, and your case number. So pay attention here. It wants you to attach the copies of your pay stubs for the last 2 months and proof of any other income. Or, you can also, people also, if they don't have a pay stub, they may attach a tax return, or later on we'll see about a Schedule C, but they want to know, how much did you make last month gross before all of the deductions, before all the taxes came out? And on average, what do you make? Do you make anything overtime? And on average, what is it? Do you usually make commissions? What is it averagely? Averagely, is that I don't think that's a word. Are you receiving any sort of public assistance? What is that? Are you receiving any spousal support from a past marriage? Not are you paying, are you receiving? Are you receiving partner support? Are you currently in retirement and receiving, maybe you're retired, maybe you're young, but you're retired military and you're receiving some military payments. Maybe you are getting those Social Security payments, not disability. Okay. Maybe you're getting some other disability insurance. Maybe you're in unemployment. They want you to list these things. If you own property, a lot of people that I work with have rental properties. You're going to list what you take, your income for that, your gross income. If you receive dividends or interest, if you have a trust, if you, what is that income? If you have a business, they want to know, how is it owned? How much do you make monthly and how much on average? What business is this? What's the name? What type of business? Is this a sole proprietorship? Is this an S Corp? What type of thing they want? They're asking you, look, it's in bold. They need a P&L for the last 2 years, a profit and loss, or a Schedule C from your last tax return. Sometimes people list here that they earned something. Maybe they got an inheritance, or maybe they did win the lottery. Other times people, their financial situation has changed. They lost a job, they got a job. Then they ask you very, very specific questions, required union dues. So, for example, if you are a teacher, whether you want to be a part of the union or not, they're going to take that money out. That's what you're going to put here. If you're a teacher or maybe in law enforcement, they're going to require retirement payments. So not things you put into an IRA or a 401k or a 401(b), but your pension. So your CalSTRS, your CalPERS. Okay, so now if you pay, your medical, what do you pay for your medical? If you have a prior relationship where you pay child support, how much do you pay your baby's mama or your baby daddy every month? How much do you pay your past partner for spousal support or partner support? And then anything that maybe is required for your job that you don't get reimbursed for, then you put that here. And they want you to explain that. A lot of people don't usually have this, but some people do. It's really simple. It's pretty much a blank paper. You fill it out. They want to know, listen, I'm telling you, this is why people have a hard time with this form, because they don't want to tell all this information, but they are requiring that you do. So how much altogether do you have in these accounts? Cash, checking accounts, saving, credit union, money market, any other depository accounts. If there's stocks and bonds you could easily sell. So if you've got some restricted stocks, you couldn't easily sell those, could you? Any other property, so real property as in real estate or personal property, you're going to estimate the fair market value and you're going to subtract the debt you owe. Then you get to page 3, you got to do the heading again, and then you have the case number. So you're going to list the people that live with you. So you're going to list their name, how old they are, how is this person related to you? Maybe it is your child, maybe it's a roommate, maybe it's your spouse because you're still in the same house, and then that person's gross monthly income. So maybe it is your 6-month-old baby, their income, unless they're on commercials, that baby's, it is LA, so hey, your baby might be making bank. But if they're not, then you're just going to put 0. And then, do they pay some of the household expenses? Yes or no? They're not asking you what they pay, just do they pay it? Yes or no? And then we get to number 13. They want to know your average monthly expenses. Your life is in flux and it's reflected on this form. So maybe, you haven't moved out yet. So you're not really sure what your expenses are. So you're estimating your expenses. So then you'd mark, these are estimated expenses. Or maybe these are your actual expenses because you're not going anywhere. And this is what you expend every month. Or maybe it's just, I have no idea what it's going to be, but this is what I think I'm going to need. So these are my proposed needs. So then you're going to list, for your house, what do you pay? Rent? Do you pay rent or do you pay mortgage? You're going to list that total amount there. And then if it's a mortgage, they want to know your principal and your interest payments. Do you pay property taxes? Do you have homeowners or renters insurance? What about monthly repairs? They want to know everything. Child care, about how much you spend on groceries. What about education? What about, dry cleaning? What about your car? Listen, LA, listen, your car, your insurance, your gas, your repairs, all those types of things. Any insurance, but it says not auto, home, or health insurance. So life insurance, accident insurance, those monthly things that usually get automatically withdrawn. Charitable, savings and investments, any charitable contributions. Maybe you regularly donate to PBS or something like that, or to your local congregation. Then some people utilize this section and other people don't. So any installment payments and debts not listed above. The reason why some people don't use that is because they have all of their debts listed on, and their installment payments, like their car payments, listed on the FL 142. So it's up to you if you want to fill this in or not. We're going to just fill it out however you tell us to fill it out. You take all of the balance of these, of the amount that you pay every month, and then that total gets listed here in P, 13P, and then everything gets totaled up here in R. But some people have amount of expenses paid by others. So maybe you have moved out, but your spouse is paying your rent. You haven't finalized your divorce. You haven't finalized spousal support. So right now in the interim, your spouse is paying your rent. That might be a number that should go there. So then attorney's fees, you're going to list your attorney's fees, how much you've paid your attorney. Where did you get the money for your attorney from? What do you still owe your attorney? What your attorney's hourly rate is. You notice I keep saying attorney because a legal document assistant and a mediator are not an attorney. Just attorneys. You're going to print your name, date, and sign this form as well. And then there's one more page. Listen, pages get lost. They put your names at the top, put your case number at the top. Number 16, if you don't have children, you still need to submit this page, but other than filling out the header, you don't have to do anything else with this page. You can leave it blank. If you do have children, you need to list on number 16, how many kids do you have? About how much time do they spend with you versus their other parent? Sometimes people put 50-50, 99-1. Other times people leave that part blank and they fill in this section. Because if you're not, it says if you're not sure about percentage, or it's not been agreed upon, describe your current plan here. Describe your parenting schedule here. So people write a couple sentences. This is what's happening in our house, or we're still in the same house, or we're trying this plan. They want you to put something there. If you don't put something there, they're going to kick it back. Do you, number 17, or do you not have health insurance through your job? If you do, you're going to put the name of the insurance company and their address and how much it is for the kids every month. For your children, do you have to get childcare so that you can work, or so that you can get training, or maybe so that you can finish school? Because that's job training. Education is job training. Any health care costs not covered by insurance. Does your child have asthma? And so every month you've got to buy a new inhaler, and that little extra $40 every month adds up. Is your co-parent moving far away where your kids have to go on a long ride to your parents, or maybe a co-parent, or maybe their co-parent has moved out of state and so they're going to spend the summer with them? What are those travel expenses? And then any other monies that you spend every month for their educational or their special needs, and they're going to want you to tell them below right here what that could be. And then if there's any special hardships, you'll explain it here. A lot of times people leave this number 20 blank. That's up to you if you want to add something that you feel like the court really needs to know about your situation. Then the last thing is you attach your pay stubs, 2 months of pay stubs, or 2 years of profit and loss statements, or your Schedule C. So it all depends on your situation. You get this signed, you attach those things, and before you file it with the court, you need to serve it on your spouse. This is not scary. This is not, I'm here to serve you papers. No, we're in the middle of the divorce. Here are my financial disclosures. You can hand them to them. Usually in Los Angeles, you can email them a copy of all the forms and all the supporting statements. That's what we'll talk about when we go over the FL 142. It doesn't have to be this big involved process. You don't need to hire Usually, you don't need to hire a process server for this. You can also take all these forms and stick them in the mail to your spouse. Okay, that is it for Step 2 Tuesdays. If you've got a question, let me know below. And if this was helpful, forward this video to someone. Go ahead and share it. Have a great day, and thanks so much.